what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my niggas. I'm in yo. Got my nigga Ramon with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, your honor. That for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look, hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit ain't never changing, it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, thank you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit, y'all know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm rippin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them, I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, and shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey.
Because I'm willing to fight against drug dealers if they're Muslim, if they're Christian, if they're atheist, if they're Buddhist. If they killing black men, guess what? I'm going to say something about it. Because you know why? Just like you ain't going, like your boy said, it ain't going to happen. Guess what? I'm not letting nobody sell you drugs without me saying that. I'm not going to do it. Even though I don't know you, guess what? Just like that's your boy, guess what? I'm your boy. Even though I don't know you, I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you're a black man like me. And it works something.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain. And a lot of sorrow, got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road, like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, for this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good record. Sometimes a follower is a soldier trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how did you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword with a style that they might just record. The only thing equal is the curse for the wicked and the righteous reward. Have mercy on the many, don't see it. Separated from the tares, now on my prayers, and it's so be it. A rebel, take the world by word of mouth. UPK, we the rebels that you heard about. Yeah, and it ain't gonna stop till 100 virgins in the house, and I'm handing verdicts out. Yeah, Frank, you ain't heard a clout without a shadow of a doubt. These devils hitting licks off us. Fuck the bank, I'm about to stone the pocket ticket office. Can't sweet talk us, cannot stop us. And plus I know the feds watch us. Telling people that they church full of witch doctors. Put us in prison, they stockpile us. Meanwhile, UPK turning rebels into Rockwallers. In league with mighty men, and now I understand things that never truly made sense. Like why I'm crying at this funeral for a criminal, knowing he ain't innocent. It's fucked up, but my boot shine, standing between two priests, about to blaze on their ass, call it tough love. Look out for niggas just club and wouldn't touch a white bitch with OJ's black gloves. Father, forgive me for my error. I'm forever by your side, clean and purge me of all my flaws. This the reason I'm alive. Thank God for this truth, cause for a long time was a rebel without a cause.
Look, man, first time I met Commander Junior Hunter, man, hit 3807.
Rebel without a
my
cause.
little daughter with me. Opened the door, he was dropping the truth for me and all that.
Rebel
He
without
said,
a
yeah,
cause.
man, you know, you do your time. We taking the mountains, training in hand-to-hand combat.
Rebel without
said,
a cause.
oh, yeah.
This the reason I'm
Shine me
alive.
up,
Thank
nigga.
God for this truth, cause for a long time was a rebel without a cause.
You cannot whoop us. We're already dead. We're already beaten down. We've been beaten down for 400 years. We already got the wounds inside and outside our bodies. How you gonna hurt us? You cannot threaten us. You cannot frighten us. We live in the most frightening places, under the most frightening conditions. We are immune to fear. We are immune to harm. You see what I'm saying? You have stepped into a cesspool. You're the only one gonna get infected.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Damn right, I'm a UPK nigga. Straight out of one West, no contest. We the best to the niggas that's living, trying to contend with the stress. Going through the test, no access, cause you oppressed. Slaves, niggas is dying off in waves. Living in dirt, now it's a grave. Niggas cross-talk through the crosswalk or the white chalk over the bodies of roads that you paid. America's killing us, saying they fearing us. Put the drugs in the hood, now my niggas delirious. Put a gun in my face, all because of my race. Click, boom, flash, put some Skittles and murder my ass. Like a sheep to the slaughter, heart beating harder and harder. Baptized with these words, never dipping in water. So now we pray to the Father, give strength to the Father that's looking for the marauder. That's fucking taking our daughters, nigga, it's wartime. Lights up, nigga, showtime. Got the green light on that ass, yeah, go time. Either boot up, shut up, but get your ass up, cause we ain't got time to be playing this all fucked up America. Heaven for the thief, hell for the slave, reaping what you sow, meaning giving back what you gave for a clean slate. You try to imitate, you was always fake. America, every city, state, this is your fate. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
On the timeline, giving the rhythm to expose the intricacies of the day's vibe. Doing mine, I ain't shit, but getting lit is a pastime. So in a minute, I'ma pass out. I hope you get it. If you didn't, you can crash flying. Kinda simple if you feel it, pass your last line. But it will confuse a bad mind. A damn shame. That's the exact thing. I'll get your ass fried. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Then the nigga fly. Hope you got an alibi. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Damn, the missiles high. I can see him from the parking lot. Heaven finna ball out. Devils finna fall out. All our warfare, nightmares in the big house. They murdered us for years and thinking shit was gonna turn around. Pride never learned. This motherfucker burns down. Yelled in them streets. Told them to breach. All of you angels bring woe to this beast. You rule for a time, but we play for keeps. I pray to my father, bring woe to this beast. Remember them times we hung on them trees. All of you nations bow down to your knees. Remember them ships, they brought us in fleets. Fuck they Apollo, bring them the heat. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
God is going to destroy this empire, man. You about to see famine in this place. You think them fires in California is bad? That's just the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. Because you've been evil to the Lord's people. You've been wicked to the Most High's children, man. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something, black man. You got to put on your strength now, man. Put back on your strength and might, black man, because your day is coming. Your day is coming because the Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Hey, Shalom. I'm getting carried away with the music, but we got to kick it off now. So let's get it right here. We're going to say clap it up. We're going to clap it up. We're going to clap it up. It's lucky for that. I'm getting all carried away in the UPK music. And so we had ISUPK started at 1 West 125th Street under commanding General Yohana. If you're not an ISUPK, you're not in the troop. Okay? Now, I am Officer 50 Akashka, and I'm in the Bahamas. So if you have you want to communicate, ISUPK Bahamas at Gmail. You can send me a email if you need to. And of course, you could come on the live. You could put a comment in the chat, and we could start from there. So, Yahweh Bayashim, Yahweh Shai Barakatah to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alatam Bahashim, Yahweh Shai for all the sisters. And so we're gonna jump into some of what we normally do. We're gonna talk a little bit about food. We can start on that. Your food. Are you aware of the how food is produced? Are you aware of how long the food takes to get to your table? Well, let me just pick one item. Let's pick a lawful item. Let's pick steaks. Let's pick a meat, steaks. Okay. Now these meats are slaughtered somewhere, whether it's somewhere in the mid-United States or some other developing country. They don't want a third world anymore, developing country. And they're shipped into, more than likely they're shipped into the States. They pass all the initial checks and balances. But now, what happens is, what you don't realize is these meats are injected, packed with preservatives of some sort. And these are the things which become deadly to you as you continue to consume them. So I just want you to be educated. Do a quick Google search and search like how long what's the average time it takes for me to get to your part wherever you are in the world, and the process. Because what happens is, it's not like you're right down the street, somebody kill an animal and they slaughter the animal, Salakia. They unalive an animal and they cut it up, and you purchase a piece the next day or the same day, even the next week or even the week after that. They put it in the freezer, and then you get it in a couple of weeks. It's still a fresh meat. But this having to travel long distances, putting preservatives in the meat, mixing fluids, blood-looking fluids to make the meat appear to be more, more recently unalive than other. Yeah, all of that happens. And the kind of chemicals they put is not good for our bodies. So I wanted to start with that. Just be educated on that and grow something Grow something. Get a pot. Grow a plant. Grow a tomato plant. Get some tomatoes you don't have to pay for. If you buy in a tomato at the store, then what you can do, you could take the seed out, let the seed dry for 1 day, and then plant it. Okay? You don't have to let the seed dry for any longer time than that. Let's take it out the fruit or vegetable, whatever one you think the tomato is. They still, I think, debate that from time to time, and just let it dry out a day, and then plant the seed. But I always suggest that you plant more than one seed. These days, so much genetically altered things are around. It's hard to say this can even grow. Okay, but like I say, plant something. Plant something. Get a pot. Plant a tomato tree, or go to your local nursery and buy a small tomato plant. That's even better. Go to your local nursery and buy a small sweet pepper plant. Get 2 pots. Get two 5-gallon pots. Buy soil. Okay, purchase soil and put them on your patio, and you water them. So lucky if sound bad. So lucky for that. Some things you have to do when you don't want to. Okay, let me put this phone on silent so at least it wouldn't make too much noise. All right. So I was just saying, even if you live in a place where there's a high rise, you have a patio, all you need to do, buy soil. Get when you purchase soil, buy like a black cow manure or some sort of manure out of the store which you purchase, and you put your plant in that, and you just water it. Don't overwater. Just keep the soil damp. If the soil dries out, you dampen it again. Don't flood it. Don't have standing water in it, and you just do that, and you will see over time that the plant will grow. Now, do not put your plant out there and forget it. You're gonna have to take care of it. I often tell people, you plant a plant and then you go back 3 months and wonder what happened to it. You know what happened to it? You killed it. You didn't give it any water. You didn't give it any attention. You just put it there and expect it to grow. So you don't do that. Okay? Now, so that's my 2 cents to tell you how to think about the future. Practice that, grow. Before you know it, you'll have 4 or 5 pots on your balcony just growing different things. You'll do it, all right? You'll love it too, and you'll eat the stuff, and that'll encourage you, and it'll be all organic because you're not gonna put any kind of herbicides, pesticides, any kind of chemicals. Okay, all right. So let's get to some of the current events that's happening in around my neck of the woods. Some things are happening, but I think we said from the last time that we're now in the season where we call it the silly season, right? Okay, in full effect. Oh, so the silly season is on, and let me tell you how serious it is. I got on a red shirt today, right? I'm walking around. One of the colors of red. One of the colors of the political party is red. You can't even wear right now your own shape without people associating you with some political party. Oh yeah, you like that? You know, it's so ridiculous. In ICPK, we pray that Yahweh Shai comes back through the direction of the Most High to reset everything and take over the leadership, the rulership, the governing of this earth. That's the only person we want to vote for in ICPK. Slovakia. Hold on for me. Slovakia for that. Sometimes you run in the business you can't get away from. I should have played a song, but anyway, we back. So okay, so yeah, we right in the middle of our silly season, and so, but the good thing is next week it'll be that. I think it's the 12th or the 13th, the 12th, I think it is. After that, we're gonna be beyond this. Of course, it'll be some fighting. They rob us, they steal it, they, all that stuff happens. But we here at the ICBK, um, I'm observing and having fun and telling people you need to find the truth because these people ain't doing nothing for you. I hear the most idiotic phrases going around. The only person that's going to do something for us is going to be your house shy. Everybody else is just trying to enrich themselves. Okay, so that's what's happening for our silly season. We got people actually saying they wanna nullify the whole election. They want to stop the election. You ever hear something like that? This mechanism is rolling so fast now. That's not gonna be. The Supreme Court will have a hard time trying to stop this at this point because everybody, we say you're putting in a cup, right? You get the cards. As I used to play cards as a youngster, they had this family they play cards all the time. So we had one of the little fellas. He always have the deck of cards playing with it. Now you're getting ready to play cards. You can't let him have the deck of cards and then you start playing cards because you're gonna find out you're playing 21. You can find out he's winning. Is what happened. He put in the cup. He then had the cards, set up all the cards to drop to him. So this was what they're trying to do for this election. They're trying to put in the cup. They're trying to make sure that whatever they do, however they could sway, they could steal, they could add, they could subtract, or whatever they could do, they're trying to do it for this election. And that's just the way people are. I don't know if you could get away from that. That's just the way they are. So the next current event, which I'm a little skeptical about, I must say, this is me. I'm skeptical. I'm not saying anybody else is. I am. Because this is the silly season, the election time, the government has said they have purchased the power company. The power company has been operating for, I don't know, maybe 50 years or more. And the government is saying that they could bring the cost of electricity down. And they're saying they could do it right away. I'm skeptical. I want you to know. I am skeptical of that because businesses that are running, they're running at that rate for a reason. They're trying to get a doggone increase from the government for years. And the government said they can try and drop the rate. Okay, so anyway, we can see if this is just an election ploy to get people to vote for a particular group of people, or we can see if this is real. Right after the election, we can know. Okay, so I'm skeptical, but they said they're gonna try and drop. We can drop the reduction and be a 37% reduction in your overall power bill, and I'd like to see it happen. Okay, but I don't know. A next current event that locally happens that is locally happening or happened in the Bahamas is an 83-year-old passenger from the cruise line drowned while snorkeling. I don't know. The thing is, some of these people, some of these people ain't never been in the water. And mind you, our waters are so clear. It's just like you seeing right now. The only difference is you can't breathe in it, okay? And of course, your visibility ain't that far. But when you talk about putting on the goggles and putting the snorkel, when you look under there, you could see clearly. These people that's come probably don't even know how to swim and doing this foolishness. So I don't know what to say about that, but I mean, condolences to his family. But at 83, I hope he did some of the things he wanted to do in life, because right now he's gone on to his reward. But that's how things do happen. Yeah. So let's run down some more. Now, this is a crazy one. This current event, this is a crazy one. This you wouldn't want this happen to you. Okay. Anyway, this male and female. Of course, this male met his ex. Now we say wife. right? We say wife because as far as we're concerned, you're having sex with a woman, that's your wife. Now somehow they were separated, and somehow they met to a predetermined location, and somehow he tried to rekindle the flame, and for initial what the information of what has reached to me so far is that she wasn't accepting this rekindling of the flame for whatever reason, and then he proceeded to force the whole issue and to force himself on the woman. Like one of my captains would say, that's diabolical, you know. So now, what happened? Yeah, rape, because in the Bahamas, as far as they're concerned, you could rape your wife. So, and she saying no, it's no. And but that's it's poor for the brothers to force themselves like that. Even saying got no game. I don't know. I just don't know. He need to come with the UPK. He get some game. Okay, he wouldn't have to go that route to force the whole issue. But anyhow, that's the way that went. But I don't know the brother. If I did, I would tell him, man, listen, you gotta do better than that. You gotta come to UPK. You can't want it that bad to put your freedom at risk, because that's what you're doing. You're putting your freedom at risk to do something like that. Okay, let's jump across to some of the international stuff. Oh, before we leave our local current events, this is something that it's been a trend now for a while. The men of the cloth, that cloth, the dirty cloth, Christian pastors, they are walking away from, well, not walking away. They are reaching out and including the political arena in their lives. And why are they doing that? Because men very seldom satisfy with the position that they have. Men always seek to get more. The story goes, they ask the rich man, how much more money you want to make? You know what he say? Just a little bit more. Okay. And so, how much power do these men of the cloth want? You know how much they want? Just a little bit more. What happens is, in your arena of the church, it's so small, and people, as far as I know, people are slowly dwindling away from the organized religions, the one that they've been accustomed to. Their parents and their parents before them, they're being discouraged and they're moving away from them. But the men in those who lead, they seem to have a desire to lord over more people. And so what happens is they migrate themselves from the local arena, because where's the next step? The political arena. Not to try and grow. They ain't going on the street no more. They too big for that. They men of the cloth. They ain't getting on the street, okay? If you don't come to them, they ain't fooling with you. So they try to figure out how else they can get a bigger audience. And where's the next step? The bigger audience is the political arena. And so they go to that. They leave God's people. They leave them. Now, in this case, I'll say they're trying to serve two masters. I wouldn't say that in all cases, but in this case, because the body of Christ, even as they see it, right? Now, we do see it the same way, but even as they see it, they can't leave the sheep. They can't leave the 90. They can't leave the sheep and then go behind some other entity and leave the sheep. Because whether you want to agree or not, when you start meddling and mingling with other activities, you're going to not put as much focus as you need to on what you consider to be the church. You're not. Because now so we have, that seemed to be a trend. We seem to be a trend with the people who have risen to the top in their denominations. They have gotten to the pinnacle, right? Rather to the top. And so there's no place else for them to go. So what they want to do? They want to jump off of that rooftop and now go into the political arena. And of course, there are also rumors with them doing other things. Like, see, in UPK, we firmly believe that men can have multiple wives. We think sex is marriage. So, as far as we're concerned, if you have sex with a woman, you're supposed to keep her. That's your wife. You keep her. But now, it seems like Christianity has taught us that you could have sex with a woman, but you could marry, and then you could have a next wife, but you have to now leave that first wife. And so what happens is you actually turn the women into to the 304 and need to find the next relationship after you've left them. So we don't do that. We try and endeavor to stick with it, to keep it going, and keep the numbers down. Do not multiply wives unto yourself, because they could cause you to turn your heart from the Lord. Okay, so and that's a word for the pastors who trying to get into politics, because if they're moving away from the church, they got some other shady stuff. Mind you, I used to be in tick in the church, so I have some inside information, and I wouldn't put it on the internet, but a lot of them are they do very suspicious things. I want you to know. And some of them even come out and admit some other things. And then you would find them in some funny areas and positions and all that stuff. And the issue is they preach against the things and then they do it. So they're hypocritical. I see, we ain't preaching it. See, we don't say we can't go in the bar, We say we're not Christians. We could go in the bar. We don't say we don't drink rum. They say we're not Christians. You could drink rum. But woe be unto you if you be a drunkard and be falling all over the place. That's the problem there. Anything in moderation is okay. But see, now you become a hypocrite when you're in the pulpit preaching against these things, and then you're doing it yourself. And you're preaching, you only supposed to have one wife, then you're trying to pick up a woman on the bar, Anyway, these are the things that happens in real life, in reality. It happens. But you're trying to get your reward here, you're trying to get your reward where you going, where you think you're going, All right. Right, we're gonna slide on a little bit to the international events. Internationally, right? Israel strike on Gaza. No, the thing is, there's a ceasefire, There's a ceasefire. They have a ceasefire on Israel and Gaza. The ceasefire, but even in that, they're killing 3 people, one of the 15-year-old child. And listen, the thing is, from time immemorial, there's that country right there that nobody could tell what to do. Nobody could tell them what to do. Their best friends couldn't tell them what to do. They still doing whatever they want. They got a ceasefire and they still firing on the people. All right. So, one of my generals said the only way they could have stopped this war is when it was about to start. Agent Orange, when they were saying we can start it if you don't help us, they say the only way they could have stopped that is Agent Orange should attack them. You mightn't think about it, but when you really think about it, it's logical. Listen to this, if you and somebody going to do, you pull up on your friend and your friend say, listen, I going to break in this place. You going with me? Salakia. Hold on again. This for a short time this time. Yeah. I'm saying if you meet a friend, let's say a friend pick you up and they tell you they're going to do something really, really stupid. Like, let's say, rob a bank, something really, really dumb, right? Rob a liquor store, rob something like that. You know how you stop them? You tell them, listen, let me hold this car. I calling the police for you right now. That's how you stop them. You say, I calling the police now. I can get them all the information. You go to that liquor store, the police will be there waiting for you. That's how you stop them. You don't stop them by saying, let's go. Since you won't go, I better go to make sure everything all right. No, that ain't the way to stop them. You stop them by telling them, I can call, when you reach the liquor store, the man will be there waiting on you. So you go. And that, guess what? They ain't going. You just saved their life. You just saved their life. Because they could have gone in there and get injured, get hurt. The person might have a gun and shoot them. So that's what our general say even about those wars. When it's like that, you have to do something to the people who trying to start the war to stop them. And they would stop. Okay, so Agent Orange, right? You know, they have these fancy words for all of these. They attacking and unaliving children and everything, and disrupting the whole world economy, and got all these little fancy phrases, and they call it Project Freedom. You know, I forget what they call the next one, but they got all of these little code names. Nah, this one is Project Freedom. They keeping the Straits of Hormuz open. That's Project Freedom, right? But the thing is, there's supposed to be a ceasefire, and they're still fighting. They're still fighting doing the ceasefire, right? So they still firing on Iran, and of course, the fighting is not going to stop. One announcement, and this is listen. If you didn't know you was in hell, I want you to check this out. One announcement. You know, the thing about it, this fighting in the Straits and the blockage. You know, even before they feel the effects of the oil shortage, prices shifted. Now, they just say they're gonna open the strait, prices change. They say they can close it, price, stock market react on the word. You see how we so much still in our slavery. The stock market responding on the Agent Orange word. If he say the straits can open, the stock market can look favorable. If he say can close, then they go into almost a depression. Wow! But this just goes to show the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. That's what that goes to show. If you didn't know that, I want you to know that. He's definitely the devil the Bible speaks of. So let's see what else we have. But listen, China has said that they're going to play a greater role in the restoration of peace and tranquility to the Middle East. You know what the solution is? Just what I just said. You know what the solution is? If my neighbor get a bad dog, every time I come home, this dog trying to chase me. You know what my solution is? I get a bigger, badder dog and walk home with that dog. What you think that dog gonna do? He can go and sit himself down. You want peace? You balance off the power. That's what you do. That's the only way you get peace. You balance off the power. They afraid of them getting the thing, you know what it's called, the mushroom cloud. They scared of them getting it. All they gotta do is get them two of them things should discuss them. And they got peace after that. You know why? Because there ain't nobody who will deal with that. They have peace after that. All they gotta say is, okay, I'm trying to say make an announcement. We have now secured a few of them things under there, deep down in their ground. They have the ability to fire them at will. That's all they gotta say. And guess what? Everybody pack up their clothes and go on and say, okay, that's how y'all gonna play. That's how y'all can play. We can go home. And that's what it takes. It takes power to neutralize power. Other than that, when I was young, the big boys used to come on the field, on the basketball court, like I said before. The little boys playing ball, right? They take the ball, say, well, the game, come and grab the ball and throw it on the side. And everybody better get off the field, get off of the court. You gotta get up there. Don't let them boys have to tell you again. You go suck your teeth and y'all play on the side. Right? So that's it. The big boys decide to do, make the other people the big boys. Make them just as big. And when they make them just as big, the people who come on the court can say, hey, we can play. When you're finished, we can play. That's what they'll do. They wouldn't come and bully their way in. They wouldn't do it no more. They will ask in a nice way. So give them a couple of them things with the cause the mushroom to shoot up off the ground when they hit it. And then you ain't got to worry with them no more. I don't know, mom. And then this last one it's put very eloquently. It says Israel continues to attack its attack on Lebanon. And that's what they do. They just messing with them people. They're just attacking them and causing them to fight back. Because remember now, them people was minding their business. They was minding their business. Yeah. And they say, man, they just a bully who sees somebody in the corner and think they could do something with them. And so they start their stuff, but it ain't waking up. Because those people are more resilient than you really could think. Okay, so that was good. Yeah. My class is probably gonna be a short one anyway, so let's hang around. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Now gather yourself together. That's my topic. Gather yourself together. So and what I mean by gather yourself together, Salakia. 2 seconds, not gone too far. So gather yourself together. Let's go to Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Before we go on, could I have any question?
No, not a sec.
Good. All right. 2 out of. Okay, so Zephaniah 2 and 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. That's it. I want to talk about that. First, I want to start right here. The scripture is saying, gather yourself together. Who the scripture is telling that they should gather together? You see, it has always been the belief of everybody else that everybody's supposed to be gathered together. And we don't see it that way. We understand that it is not that way. Right? Who's supposed to be gathered together? Who determines who's supposed to be gathered together? You read this and you say, well, because it's in the Bible, it's for everybody. But why are you saying the Bible for everybody? And the Bible itself don't say it's for everybody. The Bible doesn't say it's for everybody. The Bible actually says the opposite. And why we say that? We say that because simply every writer of the Bible was descendant of Abraham, who got the promise. There's no writer that's not a descendant of Abraham. That's why we say that. And we also say that because there were during these times, other nations had their own gods. I don't know if you ever reconciled it in your mind. Other nations had their own gods. So with these other nations having their own gods, who you think this is being written to? And why in this day and time that you've become so confused that they believe it was for everybody else? Because of the New Testament? No, you know what it is? Why you believe that? Because of your pastors went to seminary school and they taught them. They inferred, because they couldn't find it in the scripture right out, right? But they come back with the philosophy and the mindset that everybody is like, there's only one race. That somebody say there's only one race on the earth, and it's the human race. Okay, that sounds good, hey? That really sounds like it makes sense. But guess what? Nowhere in the Bible does all the races appear to be one. If I could find, and I just paraphrase it, we may have to look for it at a time. After the flood, this is where we have the this is where God separated the nations right after the flood. Because if you know, basically that's where the nations are all separated from. You got Ham, Shem, and you got Ham, Shem, and Japheth, sons in law, right? So from those three, you could identify all the difference. But the Bible say it. The Bible say the generations of Ham, the generations of Shem, the generations of Japheth. All of these nations were separated by the Lord. He separated them. Now, why they look different? Why does the sons of Noah after the flood, why do the children, because that's what happened. The children look different for whatever reason, right? That probably could, that's probably something I could do a quick research on. But the children look different. And I would say that they would look different because, of course, this is after Jacob. You know, Jacob had wives, and all of those were not, all of the children were also different. So you have these, you could have the differences with because you have different wives, and this genes could come down in your generation. But I'm not saying that's the reason in this case, but that is definitely something I will look into. But the Lord did a separation after that point. And so now that they're separated, because we see we have like the Hamites, right? The Hamites are like the Africans, the Africans. And so you'll say, well, how come the Africans? You see, don't be confused when you talk about dark-skinned tribes, right? Because you have in the Japhites, the Hamites, like the Japhites, you have like Indians, right? I think the Japhites, and some Indian skin are dark, like some of the Israelites, or even I don't think they're as dark as the as the Hamites, but some of the Japhites, the Indians, right? The East Indians, and those Indians, they come from Japheth. Then you have all of the African families come from Ham, and then you have the other families come from Shem, right? So we have the Shemites, and so even with the Shemites, we also have with the Shemites we have the Shemites also have the Caucasians as Shemites. All right, we have the Israelites as Shemites, because along that line, their father Shem was their father. They descended from Shem, and so the Shemites, and even the people who are actually in the land right now, they're Shemites, and that's why they say anti-Semitic, right? Anti-Semitic, and they just make that a big thing. But if the Israelites, if you are Shemitic, you can't be anti-Shemitic. So if you say something what's supposed to be negative towards them, who think there's the soul, they hijack the soul Shemitic nationality for themselves. Nobody else could be Shemitic. So whenever you have anti-Semitic, it's them you're talking about it. But a Shemite can't be anti-Semitic because he's a Shemite himself, right? So we're talking about gathering yourself together. I'm saying how all these people were separated first. Now there's this big separation, but now the Lord saying, gather yourself together. Who are you going to gather yourself to? Who? Just remember, the Edomites are a nation. And we don't even look at it. So all the Edomites, you could have Edomites from America, Edomites from Russia, Edomites from Poland. So you have all of these, but they are all Edomites, right? We're not being told to gather ourselves together with them. We're told to gather ourselves together with our brothers and sisters. Now, who are they? And how do we know who they are? I go over this frequently, and it's not the Apostle Paul said, don't find it be grievous to be repetition. So, who are your brothers and your sisters? This is who your brothers and sisters are. It's those same set what came down the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, bang, Jacob. That's it. That line, Jacob. Not just Abraham, not just Isaac, because Abraham had other sons, I think 7 in total. And so we also had, and so when you say you come down Abraham, right? So Abraham's son was Isaac. Abraham had a son, so all the other sons had been disqualified from the promise. And then when you come to now, Isaac had 2 sons, Jacob and Esau. And so now Esau has been disqualified from the promise. And so now the sons of Jacob, but listen to how I'm talking. The sons of Jacob now get to be so many people. But don't you realize that prior to getting down to Jacob, all these other families had a lot of people also? Because you remember reading about the dukes of Edom in the scriptures? That's the Edomites. I think it's 12 dukes of Edom, if I remember correctly. So just as Jacob was having the 12 tribes, Esau was doing his own thing. And go back up a little more, Abraham had other sons. Again, they was doing their own thing too. But remember, all these people were not the people who were chosen. So all these people doing their own thing, they be around the earth and you in the earth. And so now, how do you find your people and all these people? Who you gathering together? You see, we're not taught that as straight as we need to. So we seem to be looking for the wrong things. We brushing up our shoulders against the wrong set of people. And we learning from the wrong set of people. So we're not getting the right word. Okay? Now, and we talk about identifying your people. The way to identify your people is to have that conversation where you hey bro, who's your father? You know your father? Oh yeah, man, my daddy from in our case Andres. He was born in Andres. You know his daddy? His daddy's born in Andres too. You know his daddy? No, I know his daddy, You know something? It's more than a 50% chance that that's an Israelite brother. I'm saying now, taking everything into consideration, I'm talking about the brother in the Bahamas and the dark skinned brother, right? Who I'm talking about one of the islands where this is Andres I'm talking about. So the chances are very high that he's Israelite. Now let's talk about a different nationality for a second here, which of course the only reason why these other nationalities even show up in the Bible is for the same thing I do in here, just to make a comparison or to make a point. That's all they in the whole doggone Bible for. Okay, so I'm in Grand Bahama, Freeport, Grand Bahama. Let's say I walk up to a Caucasian, and I'm a firm believer. If I ask him, where are you from, sir? He'll say where he's from. I'll say, where's your father from, sir? He'll say where his father is from. I'll say, where's his father from? And I believe for the little bit of investigation I've done, that the Edomite could go back maybe 200 years on his generation, 4, 6, 7, 8 generations. right? Yes. But you go to somebody who has been ripped away from their land, their loved ones, their culture, their religion, or at least their life, I should say, not even a religion, because we don't look at what we do as a religion. We look at it as our laws and precepts and things that we should and should not be doing. And we've had all of those ripped away from us. And so now when you ask an Israelite, hey, you know your old man? Oh, yeah. You know his old man? That's where it starts again, right there, right? Right there. You know his old man? It's like, no, I don't. Definitely, if you ain't know him, you ain't know the next one. And this is where you start to think about, oh, that's your people. That is your people. Okay? So, and I do want to read a scripture because I want to remind us where it all started. It started with Abraham, and God made the promise, right? And so it really came to life when Moses sprinkled that blood on our forefathers. That was the kicker. That was the kick in your buttocks. Okay, that was the thing which which started it all. For you to now show your commitment and your responsibility to do what you've been told to do. That's what that was all about. And so we see in Deuteronomy chapter 28, we see where the commandment was given to follow the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and you would be put on the top of all the nations on the earth. And because he didn't do that, we find ourselves where? At the smack dab bottom. With us and with all the 12 tribes. Now, why I say that? Because if you look around the world, now notwithstanding, they go to Africa and find the poorest part of Africa and show a video to get you to send money. They ain't showing you the better part of Africa. And because those people who down there don't have to be that poor if their own government take care of them. Or if you have the external forces leave these countries alone, that's to seem to be more of a problem than anything else. These other countries meddling in their business. They come and they decide to, and they say, okay, y'all they get you into this lending and borrowing and paying back and get you in the debt spiral, and you can't catapult yourself out of it. You're in there. The kind of sacrifices you need for a country to get out of debt is a difficult one, because all of the politicians trying to enrich themselves. So lucky, I digress. Yeah, so gather yourself together. Yay, gather together. Why are you gathering together? You gathering together because you're going to develop that strength, that bond, that family. You think about this. In school, when you were in school, you would have found someone who sat near to you. If the same sex, you would have found someone who sat next to you, and y'all became very friendly. Especially if you all had most of the classes together. Y'all would walk the class and become very, very friendly. This staying together, this being together, this staying close to one another daily, that's it. That's what it creates. It creates that love and this brothership. It creates that bond that keeps you together through tough times. And this is why we encourage brothers and sisters to get into school and be out there as much as possible. Hang out. Just go there and hang out every week. The children have homework, carry them there and let them do homework there. Just hang out. When it's time to go to sleep, then everybody go home. Just come and hang out. The more you hang out, the closer you get. The more you build a good, strong relationship with each other. Gather yourself together. O nation not desired. Why are you not desired? All right? They don't desire us. I'm going to read. I'm going to tell you they don't desire us. You can go to the book of Psalms. Let me see. Oh, yes, this is Psalms 83 and 1. Psalms 83 and 1. I can tell you who does not desire us. O nation not desired. I tell you, the nation is us. Who are the ones who have become, who has put us in the position to be undesirable? This is the book of Psalm, chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silent, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacle of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hopen the children of Lot, Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, and as Seir, and as Jabim, at the brook of Kissar. So these are the people who are confederate against God, yeah, the Most High and his people. All of the names are there. Those people do not desire us. We're in the midst of a lot of them. They do stuff, a lot of times they know us better than we know ourselves, because again, we were all scattered to the four corners of the earth. We lost all of our records. We lost everything about it, but yet those people stayed intact. They know their history, and a lot of them know our history better than us. So we have to find ourselves a way to gather ourselves together, because we definitely are a nation not desired. And so how do we do that? What we do in ICPK, we go down the street. We try to, of course, I don't have the numbers to hit the street as yet in a camp. So all I could do at this time is just kind of canvas and try to get the word around, and continue to do shorts, continue to do classes online. Be open to conversations and seek people and trying to drag them to introduce them to the truth. And so this is the part we play here, and try our endeavor to not only be sayers of the word, but be doers of the word. You know, and coming into Christianity, that's the task for everybody. Because the things that you have to do in ICPK is much different than what you have to do in the Christian church. You know, so and like I did say, we're gonna have a short class tonight, because I just wanted to touch on that, and I know we had a lot of current events, which is actually the thing that's going on. You know, but gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. And like I said, that's Zephaniah 2 and 1. And that's telling us to, in the midst of everything that's going on, gather yourself together, bro. Find people of like minds. Get into UPK. Because when you get into UPK, there's a lot of things that you don't have to question. The answers have been given in class. You don't have to push people to get rid of crab, shrimp, and lobster, swine. They can learn in class. You don't have to push them to not have all kind of relationships. They can learn in class, and they can know the ones that they do have, they have to keep. They can learn that in class, right? So that's the whole idea. Get in class. Get to gather ourselves together, but where? We gather together in class, in what we know the Lord has set up for us. And this is where clarity comes also to us. When the priest break down these things to you, clarity comes from there. So that, we right around the time. And like I said, it's a short one because I wanted to get that in here. And just before we go, any questions or comments, Kudara?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, okay. Kind of. Dr. Water for showing up. And feel free, you got my number. We always continue to chop it
And
up. And we continue to talk about the truth and strengthen one another. Because it's only me and you here right now. So we
well,
fighting.
actually, what
Come on.
I wanted to ask you when you were talking about planting, as a novice, someone who doesn't know very much about planting, what would you suggest be a first fruit or first vegetable someone plant?
Okay. That's easy. Like I was saying, tomato is a good crop to plant. Just get a couple of tomato seeds. The thing is, or get a small tomato plant. Go to the nursery and buy a tomato plant. Get a pot. Get a 5-gallon pot. Put soil in it. And if you in a place where you have electricity, there are actually you could actually put you could do something to assist with watering, because that's most of the time the major problem. People put a plant in a pot, put it somewhere and forget it. Get soil, get a tomato or sweet pepper, put it in a pot and water it. That's it. The thing is that watering, it needs to be where it could get some sun. It don't have to get full sunlight, but it needs to get some sun through the day. And so that'll be my recommendation. Just get a tomato plant, a 5-gallon pot, or if you only have a 5-gallon bucket, that works just as well. You want to put holes in it so that the water does drain out. You don't want it to stay soggy at the bottom, but you do want the soil that will retain some moisture. And with the tomato plant, you just check it. You check it every other day. You don't have to flood it every day. And that'll be my recommendation to start right there. Buy a tomato plant. Or I would say if you get a 5-gallon container, buy 2 plants, because it's always best to have 2, because one may not survive, and you just plant them in the same pot to the 2 edges or the 2 sides of the pot. Come with it.
The water, no. Thank you.
Okay. And about. Okay, so with that, we had the ISUPK started over at 1 West 125th Street under Commanding General Yohana. I'm Precinct Officer 50, Akashka, ISUPK, Bahamas. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are here. They are to be saluted only, Salakia. They're here to shed themselves off the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister have a particular interest in a sister, in a person, they have to get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. Then there's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. So you find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10. It means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced by Aishura. 10% of every penny of any increase that the Lord give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests is not mandatory. Whatever amount you'd like to give, you can give. Remind Akim and Aquadian to check the social media, isupk.com, isupk.org, for events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he should start wearing all black, which include black boots, black shirt, black pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, I'd say, sis, Yahweh Shema, Alatam, Bahashim Yahweh Shai.
Bashimala Tamba Shami Hawashai.
And Shalom, just.
Shalom.